This is the Crowbar with Part 3 of Mission 1 in Metal Gear Rising. As soon as you enter into the power plant, you will come face to face with your first dwarf geckos. And dwarf geckos are not much of a threat, but they're very, very annoying. They're small enemies, and they'll jump onto you, latch onto you, and drain your batteries for blade mode. And on their own, they're very weak, but they almost always come in hordes. So in fighting them, you want to bounce around a lot and attack each one of them instead of just focusing on one. After the fight, you can hop up here to the grate and cut it open to get inside the refinery. And there is an achievement and trophy in this area for destroying all of the surveillance cameras that are here. And I'll be getting that in this. So you can follow along and destroy all of the same cameras. In this hallway, there is security lasers, and if you turn on your AR, you'll be able to see them, and then you'll automatically avoid them if you ninja run through. There's quite a few items in this room, and there's quite a few enemies in this room. And you're going to get detected at some point. Yeah, you're going to get caught in this area pretty much no matter what you do if you're going for items. So there's no real point in trying to play it stealthy here. And you're okay as long as you get caught on this upper level like this. If you run through the lasers on the lower level, 4 custom cyborgs will spawn, and they're pretty tough to take out. And one of the enemies on this upper level has a data hand that you want to grab, too. Then for these last couple cameras, it's a good idea just to use your RPGs, because they're kind of in awkward spots to jump and hit. And at the end of the walkway here, you can find a data storage module. But since I've already gotten it, as I mentioned in the last video, it's not going to show up here. You can drop down here, and you will find the first man in a box. Each mission has one of these guys, and if you defeat them all, you can unlock a new weapon. We just had this one last camera to take care of here. And that should be all 8 cameras now. So you should get the achievement or trophy if you're going for that. Then finally slash through this, and right here there will be a chest that you need to slice open with blade mode, and when you do, you'll get a health enhancement. I've gotten it already, so it doesn't show up. Before you head up the ladder, you want to go down the side, and you will find the final VR terminal for this mission. And finally, when you advance to the top, you will encounter Mistral, the boss fight for this level. Mistral isn't too tough. The main hard part of fighting her is that she constantly has dwarf geckos along with her. And she herself doesn't really have all that many bad attacks, so mostly try to hit you with variations of her staff. And this attack here, where she jumps into the air and sort of rolls her staff around her body, that's probably her most hard to avoid attack. And then in this first portion of the fight, after you get her down to about 75%, she'll attack you, and you'll get the chance to counter by slicing her weapon. And once you do that, you will kick her to the opposite ledge. And whenever you've destroyed her weapon during this fight, she will jump up on a ledge and throw dwarf gecko bodies at you as she makes herself a new one. And you can block these, and you can slice them in blade mode, and you can just dodge them. So there's a lot of ways to avoid them. And when you've successfully countered her or stunned her, you'll get the chance to destroy that staff and to destroy the arms that she's got on her body. And you do that by targeting the blue weak spot in the staff. And once you've gotten her down to under half of her health, she'll initiate the next phase of the fight, and this is the final phase of the fight. This one, there's a lot more room to move around, and there's a lot more room for her to move around. And the most challenging part of this is that you want to stick close to her so she can't use her longer range attacks, like that sort of cartwheel move. And eventually, once you get her down far enough, she'll initiate another attack on you, and this will go into a small QuickTime event, and when you complete the QuickTime event, you'll get a chance to enter Blade Mode and slice her up, and this ends the boss fight. And it also ends Mission 01.